On the sweltering night of August 6, 1930, Joseph Force Crater, a powerful New York State Supreme Court justice, stepped out of a steakhouse in Manhattan. He hailed a yellow taxi, waved goodbye to his friends, and vanished into the heavy city air. The 41-year-old Good Time Joe drove into a spooky silence that would make him the most famous missing person in American history. Crater's disappearance wasn't reported for weeks. His wife, Stella, was vacationing in Maine and assumed he was busy with heavy political business in the city. When he failed to show up for the opening of court in September, the shockwave hit. The investigation revealed that on the morning of his disappearance, Crater had liquidated his assets and destroyed several files in his office. The mystery turned dark when police searched his apartment. They found 3 envelopes containing large sums of cash and a spooky note addressed to Stella. It detailed his affairs and provided instructions for her financial future. It was as if Crater knew he was leaving or being taken. The heavy scent of a premeditated exit hung over the velvet curtains of his home. Crater was a man of dual lives. By day he was a respected judge. By night he was a fixture in the underworld of Broadway showgirls and Tammany Hall corruption. He was linked to a spooky web of bribery and organized crime. Many believed he had seen too much or taken too much, and the heavy hand of the mob had finally reached out to pull him from the taxi. The Tammany Hall connection was the primary lead. Crater had been appointed by Franklin D. Roosevelt, but he was a protege of corrupt politicians. At the time of his disappearance, a heavy grand jury investigation was looking into the sale of judgeships. It was whispered that Crater was the bagman for the operation and was deleted to ensure his eternal silence. Skeptics of the murder theory suggested Crater had staged his own disappearance to escape the scandal. Sightings of the missing judge began to pour in from all over the globe, from the heavy heat of the French Riviera to the spooky backstreets of New Orleans. He was the Elvis of the 1930s, a ghost who was spotted in every crowd but could never be touched. In 1939, Crater was officially declared legally dead. His name became a heavy slang term in the American lexicon. To pull a Crater meant to disappear without a trace. The spooky legacy of the case lived on in the missing persons files of the LAPD and the FBI. He was the gold standard of the vanished, a puzzle of top hats and tangled secrets that wouldn't close. The mystery took a physical turn in 2005. A 91-year-old woman named Stella Ferrucci Good died, leaving behind a spooky letter. She claimed her husband, a NYC police officer, had told her that Judge Crater was murdered and buried under the boardwalk at Coney Island. The heavy realization was that the law itself might have been involved in the execution of the judge. Despite heavy excavations at the Coney Island site, no remains were found. The earth refused to give up Joe Crater. The mystery remains unsolved because of the erasure of evidence. In the 1930s, spooky influence of Tammany Hall was so pervasive that any files or witnesses could be deleted with a single phone call. Crater was erased from the physical world. Judge Crater represents the corruption of the Gilded Age. It is a story of showgirls and subpoenas, a puzzle that proves that power is a heavy and dangerous thing. He was a man who walked between worlds and got lost in the shadows between them. The empty taxi is the eternal silhouette of New York City, a mystery that defines the spooky side of the law. Today, the Crater case is a masterpiece of noir mystery. It is a tale of destroyed files and missing millions, a puzzle that will never be solved as long as the secret handshakes of the past remain secret. Joe Crater is the ghost of the bench, a mystery that reminds us that even the highest officials can vanish into the heavy fog of their own secrets. As the neon lights of Broadway flicker tonight, remember the judge, think of the taxi door closing, and the spooky ride into the dark. The mystery of Joseph Force Crater is a heavy reminder that the truth is often a missing person. He is the patron saint of disappearance, a mystery that will remain as long as the underworld has a heavy need for silence. The final mystery lies in the files. What was in the papers Crater burned? Some believe they were records of bribery that would have toppled the New York government. This spooky weight of information was his death warrant. Crater was a walking bomb of scandals, and when he stepped into the taxi, the fuse was finally lit. He didn't just leave, he detonated. The story of Judge Crater is a reminder that the spooky is often political. It is a story of envelopes of cash and Maine vacations, a puzzle that proves that the disappearance of one man can be the salvation of 100 others. Joe Crater is the missing link of New York history, a mystery that drifts through the heavy archives of the city, forever unfound.